everybody, it's Lawrence Presman. You're watching The Betting Edge with the Prez. It's Wednesday, my last show until next Wednesday as I'm going to Vegas and then LA. Great show today. The legend himself, Dave Cokin, with us. You guys all ask for him all the time. Well, we got him today, and of course the hair, Rob Veno, joining us. We're going to talk one college football game, one baseball game, the one going tonight, and two NFL games. I'd like to bring in my guests. Dave Cokin, how are you, my friend? We did the college football betting show yesterday. I loved every part of it, especially you and Teddy being... you just being you and Teddy, and especially Teddy starting with me.
Yeah, it was fun, and we've got more shows to do today. This one, tomorrow I'm on puck time, and meanwhile getting lots of plays out. I just posted, I actually posted in the middle of the night, actually, but posted 3 college football plays, an NHL play for tonight, and a baseball play for tonight. So actually for me, that's a lot of plays. So,
Rob Veno from sportsmemo.com, one of our anchor handicappers there, and on a big roll, 25-12 college football run since September 12th. Love having you on, dude.
I love being here, Prez. I'd like to be here with you and Dave. Hopefully we get some good info out to the people watching.
Guys, let's get straight to it, and then we'll talk about business in a little bit. TCU, Dave, we'll go to you first. Plus 3.5 versus Iowa State. I've got no opinion on this game. Not even going to make something up. Talk to me, my friend.
Yeah, this is a game. I think might be the most interesting game of the schedule because there's a lot going on in this matchup. You've got Iowa State now with 2 tough losses. Really can't afford another one if they want to be in the hunt for an important bowl game at the end of the year. Very frustrating loss against Iowa. And then last week they came back from a 20-0 deficit in the fourth quarter and end up getting the lead 21-20. But then Baylor gets a drive at the end of the game and wins on a field goal. So they've got to recover from that. The most interesting aspect of this game to me is the TCU quarterback, who is... he's a local kid from Council Bluffs, and he's now the number 1 QB for TCU, a true freshman. This is going to be a deer in the headlights syndrome type of thing, but it could be because it's clearly the biggest start of his life. He's kind of doing it before the home folks, despite wearing a visiting uniform, and he's going to run into a defense that disguises things well and could give him some problems. I think that plays into Iowa State's hands, and I think Iowa State's going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means, but the number's cheap enough for me to like the Cyclones in this matchup.
Rob Veno, any thoughts on this one?
You know, Prez, I probably would have looked over the total in this game. Last 2 years don't indicate that. They've been low-scoring games. TCU 17-14 at home, Iowa State 14-7 at home. But let's throw out a couple numbers here that I found real interesting about the Iowa State offense, which they anticipate being on the verge of breaking out. Iowa State on offense, 50% of their offensive drives this season have crossed midfield. Pretty good number. They've had 2 3-and-outs all season long. Now, ULM skews a lot of that statistically. They scored 76 points in that game. So what you have to do basically is go back and check out the Iowa game. Solid defense. In fact, a way above average defense. Against Iowa, they had 7 drives that began between their own 14 and 25. That's anywhere from 75 to 86 yards away from the goal line. 6 of those went across midfield. 9 drives of 29 plus, 4 of 45 plus. That's against an Iowa defense. So I use that comparatively here because TCU is a pretty stout defense. They have not played. They got Purdue with the rookie quarterback, Jack Plummer, in his first outing. Then they got SMU and got torched. So, you know, for me, like I say, my first lean was towards over. I take Dave's point on the Max Duggan kid. Certainly, Iowa State recruited him hard. TCU scored 38 points in both of his starts so far. This will be his third consecutive. He got pulled early third quarter last week when they had the big lead against Kansas. They need to run the ball successfully. It's funny, guys, because Duggan is kind of a dual threat quarterback, but they haven't really reached it. They haven't reached into that bag yet, Dave. But I'd be interested to see if they do here. Here's the problem with everything. In Ames, Iowa, it's going to rain again. It rained in the Iowa game. It rained in the second half of the ULM game. And now it's going to rain all game here. It's an 11 o'clock Central start, rain forecast. We're a few days out, but, we make once again for ISU in this game. They're going to be without their all-time sack leader, Jaquan Bailey, in this instance. But Matt Campbell says it's a position of strength, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm probably off until I see what the weather does, but 45 right now. It's been bet down because of the weather. If that weather report straightens out a little bit, I would take a shot with over.
He's Rob Veno from sportsmemo.com. You could get 1 week, 1 full week of all of his bets for only $49. Head over to sportsmemo.com and use the promo code VENO49. Guys, quick commercial break. We're right back to talk baseball. Hey everybody, it's the Prez. Big lineup today. It's Wednesday. All our guys are in studio as well, so let me just race through what's going on over at WagerTalk TV. Obviously, you're watching the Betting Edge with the Prez. I want to shout out Rob Veno and Joe Ranieri for an incredible show that we taped yesterday called Pros vs. Joes. We picked the 5 major primetime football games of the week. We come up with a consensus play, and then you guys bet against us. Last week we went 3-2. This week the show is up. Basically, you bet against us, and if you beat us, you get $25 in wager bucks. Furthermore, the show is damn funny. A lot of you guys complain that the Prez, being me, spends too much time on small talk. That show is all small talk. It's the show where I can be me. So make sure to check that out. Also, Puck Time starts today, Wednesday. Alex B. Smith and Andrew McGinnis will be joining us today. I will be away Thursday, Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, so Alex will be hosting that. And the legend Dave Cokin will be with Alex tomorrow on Puck Time. As well, the NFL presidential address with Ralph Michaels goes up today. Also, don't forget to watch Bet On It with Marco, Gianni the Greek, and VR. That's the most watched football handicapping show in the world online right now. And it'll be taped today, plus about 10 other videos. So keep coming back to Wager Talk today and check out our lineup. We have a ton of content coming your way. Rob Veno, should we talk you first? You know what? Let's keep with Dave first. Rays versus A's. Dave, last night's game was unbelievable drama. I mean, Scherzer must have been utterly gutted in the first inning. Washington got off to a piss poor start. I actually won my bet last night. I had under 7.5. The game stayed under, hit 7. An incredible 8th inning with a Bill Buckner style error that literally cost Milwaukee, well, at least a chance to go to the 9th tied. My heart breaks for that guy. It's going to take him a long time to get over it. I know none of you care about my personal stories, but this 5'7" white Jewish guy was actually a relay runner in the 4x100 when he was young. I ran 100 meters in 11.6. Now, I know that doesn't sound great because these guys are running it around 9. But small Jewish white guy, 11.6 was pretty good. We made it to the Ontario, which is where I'm from, championships, in which I proceeded to drop the baton, like 10 meters ahead of the next best team. It took me About a year to get over it. This guy is going to be in a state for a long time, but I'll tell you from a viewer's perspective, the drama was unbelievable. Tonight we have the Rays playing the A's. Oakland is around minus 130, 135. Again, the same total, 7.5, 7.5 on the board. I think this is going to be another fun game, and I think this is going to be another one-run game. Dave, I'm in play on this game, and I think you might be too. I don't know, but I'll hand it to you, young man.
Yeah, well, so if you're looking at this from a regular season standpoint, you probably would like Oakland because I think they have a better bullpen. But as we saw last night, regular season bullpen doesn't mean much as far as postseason bullpen is concerned, because if you watched the football show yesterday, we actually talked about the baseball game. Regular bullpen here, they're going to use Strasburg and or Corbin, and they did. Strasburg came in and pitched 3 great innings. So tonight you've got a similar situation, I believe, for Tampa. Now I can't say this is what they're going to do, but it's what I think they will do. Is go with Morton. Hopefully get 6 out of him. And then I think you'll see them hand it off to either Blake Snell or Tyler Glasnow, a power lefty. And I think they will try and finish the game with one of those. Oakland doesn't have that luxury, so to speak. Manaea, fine, no problem there. But their other starting pitchers aren't those dominant blowout types or blowaway types like Tanner Roark. Who am I missing? Mike Fiers. So I don't know that they use them in a relief role. I think they just go with their standard relievers. I think that's a late inning edge for Tampa. The Rays play really well on the road, 48-33. Of course, Oakland's got a great home record, and they'll have a sellout crowd there tonight. But I think at plus money, plus 120 thereabouts, I like Tampa in this game. I think the value is with the Rays.
He's Dave Cokin. I have Johnny texting me. Johnny, the boss. Rob Veno, talk to me.
Yeah, I like Charlie Morton a lot, guys. Played him a lot during the regular season. Have not made a decisive move on this game yet, but my lean would be to Charlie Morton. My concern isn't with Charlie Morton. It's with the Tampa Bay lineup and in specifics against left-handed pitching. When you go up and down that lineup and see how this lineup fares against lefties, you come up with Tommy Pham, who's been tremendous, 945 OPS. Maybe a little bit of Travis d'Arnaud, and then that's it. Everybody else gets neutralized by left-handed pitching, including power right-handed hitters like Jesus Aguilar and Avisail Garcia. Now, in playoff baseball, it takes one swing. Aguilar, who figures to be in a lineup, could one swing make a difference in this game. Garcia, one swing could make a difference in this game. Austin Meadows, his power is sort of neutralized by lefty. Still a pretty good hitter. But the other side, boy, they've got some bats. And if you're looking for one long ball that could make a difference, Matt Chapman, Matt Olson, Mark Canha, a right-handed hitter who hits right-handed pitching far better than he hits lefties, 966. Of course, Marcus Semien and the latter two have had tremendous runs the second half of the year. Semien really all year long. I think Tampa Bay, like Dave said, Manaea is not a dominant pitcher. And he's come back off of a pretty serious injury. They didn't even expect him to throw this year. Had a good September. But again, those starts are against Detroit, Seattle, 2 against Texas. At Tampa Bay, a little bit better than both. Charlie Morton straightened things out and had a great September. The team is 5-0 in his starts. I'm a little conflicted because of lineups and their potential, but pitching being what it is, I think Charlie Morton would still be my lean at plus price. And the Tampa Bay bullpen, Dave laid it out pretty good. Aside from their ability to manage the opener type situations where they can go to a multitude of guys, having the luxury of Snell and Glasnow at their disposal is really an advantage for the Tampa Bay Rays.
He's Rob Veno. You can find him at sportsmemo.com. You can use the promo code VENO49 for 1 week of all his plays. And Marco D'Angelo, he's on a 23-7 football run. You can get 7 days of his plays for $79. Use the promo code MD. MD79. Use Veno49 at Sports Memo. Use MD79 at WagerTalk. Dave, let's talk some NFL. You're 10-5 on the season, which is an outstanding start. You know, this game intrigues me a lot. Baltimore is going into Pittsburgh. They're -3.5. They're coming off of 2 losses. They looked anemic against Cleveland. Pittsburgh turned it around. They looked really good against Cincinnati, both offensively and defensively on Monday night. They're coming into this game on a short week. You know, I don't have the stats at hand, but I cannot think of the last time Baltimore or any team in that division went into Pittsburgh as a favorite with a hook. I like Pittsburgh in this game, Dave. I think Baltimore is not as good a team as they started the season, and I think I think Mason Rudolph looked okay. Mike Tomlin made some great calls. I really loved that he really took the game out of Mason Rudolph's hands in the sense that a lot of the plays were in front of him. They were 5-6 yards between the tackle passes. Set up a really nice fade towards the end of the game on that beautiful touchdown pass. But I think Tomlin has got a good game plan for Mason Rudolph, and I think this game is going to be very, very close. Pittsburgh right back in it with a win. I like Pittsburgh plus the points. I go to you, sir.
Well, I don't have much to say because I haven't really looked at the game other than make a number. I don't really get into my NFL till Friday night, but I can tell you this series has been an underdog series with a lot of close games, and my base number in the game is pick 'em. So I'll be considering Pittsburgh.
Rob Veno, any thoughts?
Yeah, as far as power ratings lines are concerned, Prez, I'm right in line with Dave. I thought Baltimore would be a 0.5 point favorite here. So all the value in the points. If you want to start making situational and fundamental cases, I think you could strongly lean towards the Ravens, who played with, a lot was made last week of Denzel Ward for the Browns being injured and Cleveland's secondary being banged up. A lot of people like the Ravens. They went off as a 7-point favorite for that particular reason. Not a lot was mentioned about the Baltimore defensive backs, who also played banged up. The only person who shows up on the injury list this week is Jimmy Smith. Everybody else a week healthier, so maybe that helps them somewhat. The biggest thing of all, it's a divisional game. Division. They mean the most. Right now, Baltimore is 0-1 in the AFC North. Pittsburgh's 1-0. Baltimore just can't allow themselves to fall to 0-2 and Pittsburgh to go to 2-0. You can't overcome those types of deficits. There's a lot of season to play, but you put yourself in a pretty huge hole. Steelers have a short work week. Generally speaking, that's considered in handicapping, but they do get home, stay home, so I don't know if that makes that much of a difference. What we saw Monday night, Prez, aside from the offense out of the Steelers, was a defensive line that shredded a Bengals offensive line that may have could have been you, me, Dave, Joe Ranieri, and pick a fourth because the Bengals offensive line didn't protect whatsoever. Yeah. They allowed 8 sacks. Not so sure that Baltimore's offensive line is going to get shredded that badly here. Lamar Jackson, more of a threat to get out of harm's way. Before that game, though, I can't get over this fact, guys. Before that game, the Steelers allowed 465 yards to the Patriots, 425 yards to the Seahawks, 436 yards to the 49ers. And the 49ers turned the ball over 3 times inside the Pittsburgh 15. Just because they demolished Cincinnati defensively, I don't know as of yet if that's a good sign for their defense or not. Baltimore's offense, even though they lost last week, put up almost 400 on Cleveland, been steady every week. It's a tough game. All the value is with Pittsburgh. I think all the cases I can make, situational and fundamental, lie with Baltimore.
He's Rob Veno from sportsmemo.com. Dave Cokin from WagerTalk, and Dave is on is literally 29-13 in football this year. 29-13. He is 19-8 in college football. He is 10-5 in the NFL. He's also the most loved guest I ever have on this show, and you guys could get his next 30 days of plays, which include baseball, hockey, college football, and NFL, and might bleed in. Oh, he doesn't do NBA. So baseball, NHL, college football, NFL, the next 30 days of all his plays for $225. That's $100 off the regular price. Use the promo code Cokin225 at WagerTalk.com. Dave, Green Bay going into Dallas. And listen, this is another game that I think is very intriguing for different reasons. And that is, I don't know if either of these teams are for real. I mean, Dallas goes into New Orleans, couldn't move the ball. New Orleans does not have a vaunted defense. New Orleans is a team that should allow teams to be able to move the ball and put up 17, 21 points a game. Conversely, Green Bay got lucky to beat Minnesota when Kirk Cousins had a brain cramp at the end of the game. Green Bay couldn't beat Philadelphia at home. I don't know how good either of these teams actually are. Green Bay plus 3.5 versus Dallas. I don't know what to do in this game at all. Help me, Dave. Teach me.
I can't. I don't have anything to teach you because, sorry to say this because it's fun to talk NFL, but I don't like to bullshit people. I make an NFL number on every game. I don't really get much into situational stuff in the NFL because I don't think it works particularly. And I play my best value off my numbers, and that's it. The NFL is fun to talk about and analyze, but I really do think it's a numbers game. I think you bet numbers, not teams in the NFL. And this is a game that I know I won't be playing because I made the number and I made it Dallas -3. Now, aside from that, everything is just filling airtime with, well, this team can do this and this team can do that. That shit's all in the number, man. Okay, every bit of analysis you hear on every NFL game is already in the number. So I could sit here and sound like a real expert in terms of defensive schemes and what they're going to do offensively. Bottom line is I've got Green Bay +3 at Dallas. I've got Dallas a 3-point favorite in the game. So it's not going to be a consideration. The Baltimore-Pittsburgh game will be a consideration for me because I think there's value in the number based on my number. This game
Rob
is not.
Veno?
Yeah, let's start with making the number. I had Dallas -4, which is just a shade higher than what the number by odds makers have put up here. For Dallas, I think the idea is, after what we've seen out of Green Bay for the first 4 weeks, is you want to run the football. Definite 25 carry a game guy, a 150 yardage gainer if everything is right. The Green Bay run defense through the first 3 weeks has been garbage, guys. They gave up 176 rushing yards to the Eagles last week. And Doug Peterson is a throw-first coach, but they found hole after hole after hole. They gave up 149 yards rushing to the Denver Broncos. They gave up 198 yards, 7.3 a carry to Dalvin Cook and the Minnesota Vikings. Those 3 games right there, guys, 523 rushing yards, 5.4 per carry. So for Dak Prescott and company, what they couldn't do last week was run the football. The NFL is so week to week. I think that's why bookmakers make so much money off it, because people's eyes remember what they saw last.
And boy, they made plenty last week.
Yeah, without changing 4 different matchups. Here, the matchup has to be Dallas's run offense against the lousy Green Bay run defense. Now, you might say Dallas loses left tackle Tyron Smith. Went out in that game, sprained ankle. He's gone for the better part of 2 to 3 weeks now. But the biggest asset he brings to the table is pass protection. It's not necessarily run blocking. They can run to the other side of the line, so I don't know that makes a difference when it comes to running the football here. Green Bay's got worse injuries than Dallas does in this game. We won't go through them all, but just for 2 big ones. Brian Bulaga, right tackle, who's invaluable to the Green Bay Packers. And then Devontae Adams. We saw what happened last week, guys. Devontae Adams shredded the Philadelphia defense in the first half and then was out for the second half, and Aaron Rodgers couldn't throw anymore. So they've got a banged-up secondary, which will be depth shy. A lot of problems for Philadelphia. Last point I'll make real quick is this. under the new head coach, Matt LaFleur, has been pretty stagnant. 213 yards against the Bears. Okay, the Bears are the best defense in the NFL. We'll let them slide. They scored 0 points against the Vikings after the 14-minute mark of the second quarter. They scored all 21 points. They got 171 yards in 3 drives, and after that, 0 points and 164 yards. Pretty much a struggle. Against the Broncos, they couldn't run the ball a bit, 77 yards. I just think that offense right now is still trying to find its way. If Adams isn't there, it makes it even worse. Again, number comes Dallas -4 according to my power ratings. But Dallas has ways to beat Green Bay that they couldn't find to beat New Orleans last
Guys, that's the show. Thank you so much to Dave Cokin for joining us. Dave, we'll see you tomorrow on Puck Time. I won't be hosting, but Alex Smith will. Excited as hell that hockey is starting. Rob Veno, congratulations on your outstanding college football run. And we'll see you next week on Pros vs. Joes. I love having both of you guys. Really appreciate all of you people watching these shows and commenting. I appreciate the negatives and I appreciate the positives. Just comment, man. Call me out. Tell me how much Dave is a god. Call him the OG. Ask Rob Veno for how to get every strand in your hair to sit perfectly at all times. Whatever you want, we'll respond to everything. I'm the Prez. And make sure to check out Puck Time and the NFL Presidential Address. Later, everybody.